Hello and welcome back to the channel, and we have another one of our alt courses, the World Cup contest, and this one is dmviking's Loughborough Pines. We're going to go with, let's go northeast. So this one's pretty new. I think he's literally just published it this evening. We're going red, and let's go 4. Right, now Viking's been around for a decent while. He did an Alaskan course relatively recently that was bunkerless and just got a little bit samey, I think, which was part. So we talked about that being approved, I want to say, or that was talked about with a couple of others. But now to this one, which is a very different. So it says Toronto vibe. I mean, cool colours with the terrain painting and the short pines and things. Let's zoom on up. Wow, there's a lot going on here. Is that more than 18 holes? It looks like it. Yeah, surely. Got way more than 18 greens. So maybe a second course, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's zoom on down. So you can see we've got some bedrock and pine straw and stuff like this. Shoot! Ah, we found the best of all bedrocks. Excellent. And then lake. I don't love this choice of texture. Very dark. Compared to like this stuff, which is quite light, and then we go to that. That is a really good question. And one I don't know the answer to because I hadn't considered that. I think the answer is, if you remember the wheel, I put Alt 1 and 2 in as like a higher seed than Alt 3 and 4. So I think basically the higher ranked alts would first do Alt 1 and 2, then it would depend where the dropout was coming from, right? If the dropout was like a top seed, then then Alt 1 might go in for them, say. But yeah, good question. I think that's the way I'd do it. Okay, bunkers need some work. First off, like this one is very flat and raised, and it's because you're trying to make it be seen off the sight line, whereas what we should be doing is dropping this fairway gradually down towards it, so that like it's down 32 here, and it's down like, yeah, you can see it's down 30 there, so you want to make that more gradual so everything's going there. The fairway shaping is a little awkward. The sightline's a little awkward as well. I like the environment a lot and where this is framed. It's cool that we've got kind of more of a parkland course because we don't have tons of them. Ooh, well, that is an interesting swing shape. Get a hooking draw into that for no real reason. No, stay. Okay, just about did. Yeah, I like that we've gone the kind of more manicured parkland route. It's a nice camera. One thing I would add is that everything, well, not everything, but the first couple of holes have just felt a little, the surfacing has been narrow compared to this. The corridors they occupy are great. This just feels like one of those courses that has shrunk massively over the years and like could use way more fairway than there actually is. Because I like a lot about it. It's just really hard. It's really hard to look past something that impacts playability that much. A bit dicey. Yeah. Yeah. Knew as soon as I hit that. Still, we've got a chance at an up and down. I think this is a good hole design as well. It is just that scaling is problematic. And as discussed on the previous course, like, let's try to avoid doing red slopes off into rough from greens. It just doesn't feel great. I'm really loving the corridors. This, yeah, again, it just feels like it's getting a little bit too narrow for my personal tastes. Oh, get a bounce. Get another couple of bounces. Yes, got away with it. Yeah, it's it's really hard to explain some of this stuff, but the scaling and surfacing, the scaling we've talked about, the surfacing, like, I see what we're trying to do and feed a ball on. It's just a little clumsy. And if you were going to do that, what I would suggest you were doing was allowing fairway in front of it. The bunkers are very big as well. Platt was on his mind. Maybe. Maybe. I think if it were I just think if it were Platt, then you'd publish at higher green speeds. I don't know. I will call out what I see. I don't know intentions, but then I don't know anyone's. So it's all fair. Yeah, and we've got little bits like that grass creeping out of here. Like, you've defined an area where you don't want planting and then planted on it. Yeah, there's just lots of there's lots of good, and there's just these little things that are getting in the way. This is basically the first tee shot again. I would also say the bunkers are massive, and I vary the shapes and sizes. These are all identically sized, and they're big. Like, they're doing the right things in that they're impacting on play. It's just a bit awkward how it's done. And this, yeah, you'll learn to do these sightlines better, but a lot of it is just dropping the land gently. And you see part of the reason these bunkers are struggling is because look, they're above the fairway, partly because we're going for flat bunkers, which means you have to work harder with sightlines, and there's not much lip behind them, so you're trying to show off the sand, whereas I don't want to be tilting the whole base of the bunker. I like that we've hidden the green behind here, though. That's cool. Let's try and hit over it. Get a bounce off the rock or something. Yeah. There we go. That'll do. Okay, we've made it out towards the coastal area. Nice. Yeah, pitches feel way more usable than they were. Great. Just hoping that, yeah, that plus the much higher firmness could work really nicely. Yeah, see, this bunker has a better transition with the lip. And you don't need it to always be that steep, because what are we going down? 6 feet would be my guess. Yeah, 5. But that allows your sightline to work much better. Split fairway here. And okay. This is a cool little green site. I like it tucked in. I think the environment here works really nicely. It's just, there are little things with the golf. So another example, we have a very, very flat fairway, and then it really kicks off and drops off down here. Like, just making that gradient all a bit more consistent. Not totally consistent, but a bit more would help, so that it doesn't, you can see that red slope where the fairway just suddenly starts dropping. Ooh, please just go over the back. Thank you. Yeah, and again with the the grass just creeping out here, I suspect maybe multi-plant, but like for a contest course, you want to be mindful of every little thing. Like if you've defined that area. Yeah, me too. It feels like that Southern Ontario vibes, like that Parkland contest that we ran. Definitely feels like that area. Yeah, deserved a bogey on that one. To even. Back-to-back par threes. Interesting. I think I would have brought this fairway a bit shorter just because it looks like a lot of empty space. The other thing, so there's some tricks to pull with this. Breaking this up. Partly you'd bring your planting in a little bit more here. Partly you'd make these tee boxes bigger and go out more in front. Probably this one, dropping back to like here or so. Partly you'd bring your fairway in. It's a combination of lots of bits. But as you can see, it looks pretty empty towards the front. Hey, G-Dog. We are just thank you for the raid. We are just finishing up with this will be the last one of the playthroughs. Say just finishing up. We're on hole 6. But yeah, just in some World Cup playthroughs. Big shot it is. Well, that looks nice. Yeah. Okay, second par 3, taking us out to the coasts. At least I like that we've done different things in terms of the green, in terms of distance, environment, certainly. So like the back-to-back par 3 bit works well. I am not sure you've quite given it enough space for some of the pins. So presume one here, one somewhere here, and one back here. The one back here, I think, just could use a touch more green. I really should have the choked tee shot. It would make life so much easier. That filtered in nicely. I like the little island behind the green as well. That's cool. Hey. Yeah, you can really start seeing the flatness of those bunkers compared to the fairways. Like just because they start, so flat bottom bunkers can be tilted. So you can start them flat, but they will really impact your sightlines if you keep them dead flat. And that is what's happened here. Because you can see like they're sitting above the fairway and it's creating this all like, and that's partly also why you've had to make them so big because they're just dead flat to like, but then you haven't tilted that plane that they're on. Whereas if you'd made them dead flat and then tilted so that there's a like, I don't know, 2-foot incline there, you would find everything got so much easier for you. Because that's the thing that's really, I would say, driven everything on this course is not tilting those has caused a lot of issues for you. But yes, that's yeah. And then we're seeing the symptoms of that everywhere else. I need to sit. Oh no. No, we're good. Ah. Oh well. Fine. It was a bad approach shot. I do also think the fairway and bunkers don't always work together. It's again, it's hard to explain. It just other than it, the only word that keeps coming back to my mind is awkward. Of just we have these fairway shapes that and bunkers that are alongside them, and sometimes digging in, sometimes not. It's just I think you can neaten up on a lot of things. I love this green side though. This is really cool. The environment is great as well. Really enjoying it. And green itself is good here as well. Loads of good. But like a good example here would be, why have we not got a fairway up towards this bunker? Because if you're standing on the tee, you don't really know where. Like, why would you know that there's fairway up here? If you play over this, you'd see the bunker cutting in. Like little things. How long are we? 4? Yeah, let's go 3 wood. Why not? I think that's the play. And yeah, you're going to be fighting a really difficult battle if you're doing flat bottom bunkers, not tilting them and going quite significantly uphill. Like, it's just an impossible task. I felt quite good about that one as well. Damn. I like the shallower green, because that is doing something a little bit different that we haven't done before. And I like that this played significantly uphill too. Oh, I knew I'd missed that. One of those where as you're pulling the stick back, you realise you haven't given it anywhere near enough break. This looks lovely. I'm enjoying the balance between treed and... yeah, so this feels a bit wider, which is nice. I'd have probably... yeah, I far prefer this width. Tee shot looks great, even with the lighting suddenly going dark on you. There we go. Yeah, just a really solid golf hole. Would work. Yeah, it works pretty nicely. I think you could probably jazz up the approach shot a little. Oh, turn back. Oh, I thought about it. Just hammered it. I'll do. Yeah, this is a better way of doing that tee shot, where those bunkers are just gradually pinching in. Again, sightline a bit more problematic, but at least they're sitting down a little more. This is better. Just that emptiness in front of the tee and how you deal with that as well. And that's something you hadn't really solved. Whereas the previous hole looked great because the trees were right in close and that really helped you frame it. I think the spinner is the shot. Look at that beautiful draw. Totally intended. What a shot. I like this one. Exactly. Totally. That's, yeah, totally it. And like, it kind of works on the par threes because, okay, so this is our shorter hole. I don't love the decision to make this. Is this light? That's fairway and then light rough, I think. I'll work out if that's fairway into the bunkers. Surfacing just looks a bit awkward. Like, make it heavy rough. It is templatey. Template adjacent. The green is good though. The thing is, you're hitting wedge in. Like, if people roll off the green, you don't really like. It's trying. It feels like it's trying to make them roll into the bunkers, and just make it heavy rough. It will look better. That's nice though. Oh, okay. Now we are doing some things. No front to back Eden. No. Um. This is then, like, this might as well be on a completely different course. So, like, this is one where we preach variety, but you want variety within a consistent theme. You've had this nice Parkland course that's been doing all of the usual things, and then we've suddenly gone to island hopping. And it's just a big change. Additionally, you can't see that internal middle water, which is a big no. So, like, yeah, I appreciate that we are trying to make things varied, but there's also, like, there's a time and a place and a way to do that. You can do variety without, I don't know, let's say, imagine chucking a mountain in the middle of the hole. Yes, it would be varied, but it wouldn't be good and it wouldn't fit. Like, it's a poor analogy, perhaps, but it gives you an idea. I don't think it needed it. Just like play alongside the water. Like, yeah, this is all you need. Like, have us looking out at that. But yeah, sightline again is just a little mess. Yeah, I mean the consistent message will be that the sightlines are messy, and you now know the reasons why with the bunkering. There's a lot I like about this course, but width and sightlines are being problematic. Because this looks great. Like, yeah, maybe clear out some of the trees behind the screen, or like put them just one side, like open up that view. Second shot looks really nice. Great. Nasty off that lie. And I love this terrain painting stuff you've done. Like the previous hole, just show me more of that. Bring the hole close to this. I'll zoom out and show it again. Like this looks so good. I have a second hole, that previous hole, where it's just playing alongside this stuff and like integrate that. Not great part. Yeah. I tried to save it path at the end. Yes, this sort of, like, again, it doesn't need that inlet further up, but at least this is more like it than the previous one. We'll say you've got the water, you've got the ocean right here. You've then kind of taken that away as a hazard by putting loads of bunkers in there, just for variety's sake. But one of the best sightlines we've had. This looks awesome. Just don't. I think run. Sometimes simple is all you need. Like run the fairway near the water. Call it a day. Like this second shot. The second shot is just here's a green, it's perched near the water, there's a solitary bunker, and that's all you needed. Second shot's great. I know. Yeah, it feels like that's maybe a little harshly done by it, but I don't really understand how it's gotten to there. Oh well. Yeah, maybe, but you can't really get left off the tee, so it's not approach shot, sure. Okay. Back onto the inland stuff. Yeah, sure, we'll try. Oh, that's not it. Let's go find those bunkers. This one's better. Yeah, I still think you can do more with the bunker lips themselves, but this looks significantly better than the others. Oh, 2 to go, 3 and a 5. I like that this has brought those rocks in. See that? Yeah, this is what we should have done on the other par 3, where it breaks that up a little bit more. Green is too small for this amount of slope, I would say. Oh, another one. Trying to come back, but it won't. No. Maybe this does something. It's not too bad, really. Can take that. There we go. Oh, cool 2-putt. And then our closing hole. Where are we? It's an interesting camera. Okay. One other little thing we've got here that will look a little, again, awkward is you've got your water higher than you've got a lot of the fairway on this side. Yeah, we can avoid that with plot design. But like once you've got the plot, it's hard to undo that. I think the tee shot just boils down to hit it straight, which can be fine. Also feel like I've seen this hole today. This is very similar to some of the ones on the Eastwood course where just allow me a little bit more space to land it short. Like tempt people to play close to these bunkers. Like, it's cool to allow all of this space. Just allow it, but then also allow this so that we'll bail out more over here, but it's not the only way to get there. Cool looking clubhouse. That could be good. Because, yeah, that's as far right as I can hit it, and I can only access the left side of the green, really. And then you've got to use that slope. Whereas I find you tempt people into more trouble if you allow them multiple ways of going at it. And if they can go straight at it, they have to carry something. Or at least like flirt with those bunkers. Like the other way you could have looked at it is take these 2 bunkers and just shuffle them along a bit this way. More fairway in here. Then they could be, because also how they're getting to a front pin, like allow them to land it here and go this way. Anyway, well, that is a productive morning. Oh, big yawn. I really enjoyed that. Like, there's a lot to like there. Most importantly, why is it still saying season 1? Oh well. I'd say the main thing that I really liked about it was the environment. I think the terrain painting looked great. Those little treed areas, particularly some of the greens sat in those, are really cool. Down that area by the coast, there were a couple of holes that were really, really good. There was obviously that one big miss, which I would say was 14, which just, it's trying so hard to be different and it really doesn't need it. I think it was 14. It might have been 13. I can't really recall. But yeah, so variety within kind of a common palette or theme. Other than that, as you'll know from that, I tried to point out as many times as I could do, the bunkering is what's hurt you because of one absolute of they must be dead flat, which you haven't totally understood, in that they must be flat to a plane, but not necessarily flat to a hard ground level. And then that's kind of dictated a lot of the awkward sight lines. The other thing is the width. Just make it a bit wider and it would be a joy to play. Not so much because of the difficulty, just because you cleared out some really big, wide corridors, and therefore you need some of that width to make the course fit its surroundings. So Stanley Thompson wrote quite a lot about this and spoke about how Jasper Park, for example, in that really grand setting, he couldn't make a small course. Like everything had to be big and bold. I think this is a good example of where that sort of approach could have been taken. But that said, like there was a lot of enjoyable stuff there. Like greens are good. Like there's not much to take away other than those major things. So yeah. Anyway, that clears my playthroughs as well for this morning, which is nice. I have mentioned, but I'm not sure. I will try to get through the alts, but there's no guarantee with how busy everything is getting at the moment. So I'll try my best, but maybe we'll see if we get some more courses published in the near future. We'll see you then. Thanks for stopping on by, everyone, and see you again soon.